Hi, this is Bill. So, on this video, what I'm about to show you and respond to is what is dictionary in service. And most likely, my assumption that you have explored the forums and you have encountered this feature in ServiceNow and you would like to know how to use it. And to give you a better picture, I will show you how it works and where does it stand as a feature inside the ServiceNow platform. So it will give you a full grasp on how to manage it, when to use it, and how you can maximize dictionary in service. And let us navigate to one of the modules in ServiceNow, incident list. So let's go to the incident module and let us drill down to one of the records. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe and join as a member to further support free videos like this. So what you're seeing now is a common form in ServiceNow, and you will have different fields. And let us start with the number field. And as you right click, you will find configure dictionary. So what's the obvious part? You can find the dictionary once you right click on any field inside ServiceNow. So you can see that this is like a type text field and the color is basically a reference field, but all of them falls under the dictionary feature. And this is a drop down. And as you right click, you still have the dictionary capability. So the baseline, it has to be a field to be able to have access to the dictionary. So let us drill down to the channel field, which is a drop down or a choice field. And as you can see in the top, you will have the table. We are in the dictionary entry, as you can see, and the components or the attributes of a dictionary, you will see a table where it is sitting and the type and the label. So these attributes or properties that you see here are common functionalities of a field inside the form. If you look at it further or deeper, you are looking at a data model. So your table is a data model and your type becomes your object. So this is your source or your structure. Then you have your object. And of course, you need to have visibility, which is the column label. Since ServiceNow is a low-code platform, you can configure the dictionary in a no-code approach. And if you're familiar with HTML, it becomes easier for you. And ServiceNow made your life easier from an HTML perspective in a single point of glass, adding rules like read-only, mandatory, and of course, what is it like once you save information inside the database, which is your data model. And as you scroll down, the dictionary gives you further features, providing a default value. And as we scroll down further, you will see that since this is type string and also a drop down, then you will have a choice list and you will have choices. So it allows you to provide behavior on what the choices would look like. And your familiarity with the types, which you see here is type string and type choice label, which you're seeing here, will give you an edge on how to read this dictionary. And you have a key and the value as a common property of a choice field in building web application. So to give you a further understanding, what you probably noticed is we came from an incident record, but we are using in the dictionary, which is a task table. So another thing that I'd like you to notice, dictionary supports the capability of reusability. So you don't need to create fields once, twice, or three times. So you have a base level. So you are standardizing your forms and structure in a parent-child relationship. So the incident form or the incident module is inheriting from a task table. So it gives you the ability to scale and reuse what you have already created. So I'll draw something out. So if you have like the task table here, let's write it properly. So you have the task and the task is a table. So this table as a parent will be inherited by the incident module. Now we are at this level, so uniquely you can reuse all the fields of the task table and create unique ones only specific for the incident module. So they have similarities as a parent-child, but the incident form has its own uniqueness. Probably a good example here is workflows. So any form in automation will require workflows, and the workflow, it can be a review, an approve, which falls down as a task. And the incident is a module itself. As you raise tickets, it will produce workflows. So the incident will have its own form as you populate any type of incident, and now it requires as a next step, as a task. So that's why it's inheriting from a task table. So by design, dictionary is a technical feature that gives you the ability to adhere common requirements like workflows, specific modules like incident. And as we scroll down to dictionary override, so what this means is because it's inheriting from a task table, then you can basically override the parent feature in the child, which is the incident module. And of course, not all access are the same. Since task is being used by multiple modules, since this is like a platform level in ServiceNow, so let me give you a quick review. So you have platform level. So this is like the base. This is where the task table sits in, the CMDB sits in, the flow designer also sits in, right? So on the top, you have the incident or ITSM. So now as you inherit from the parent to the child, then you will need to override the parent features. So this is one of the key strengths of the ServiceNow platform. You get the platform and also the module. And as you inherit out-of-the-box capabilities from the platform, you only use what's applicable in your workflows, like ITSM, and on this example, which is the incident record. So I have created very specific video about parent-child relationship, parent table, child table that you will see at the end of the screen, and also ServiceNow administration fundamentals that gives you foundational information or knowledge and hands-on laboratories that will give you an edge in fully understanding the platform. Now let us navigate to another example to give you a firm understanding. And if you find my video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe and join as a member. And initially, what we chose is a choice field on the right. And let's move to the color field. So let's right click and configure dictionary. Since this is a different type, it will be noticeable that the attributes will change. So depending what you need. And right now, since ServiceNow is very well designed, you will see here that the type is reference. So it means that it is referencing to another table. So I don't like you to get confused on the parent-child relationship and references because they're two different things. So what you see on the right is the parent-child relationship, while the reference is 1:1 relationship on this because you are referencing data from another record or another table. So this is like singular, which is color. That's why we're saying 1:1. So you have the color field, and this color field is being populated by the user field. So the users in this table will now populate the color field. So dynamically, you have a well-maintained users being referenced inside the incident table, which makes it so powerful because your data becomes a two-dimensional, three-dimensional, and so on, depending on your needs. So as you create your dictionary entry or configure it, it will respond to the table type, the parent-child relationship that you see here, and also the field type. It could be 1:1, 1:many. And from there, you can further configure it in respect on who owns the data. Now, the owners of the data can be whitelisted using another object, which is access controls. And what I'd like you to bear in mind as you do configuration is all about maintainability. The first thing to consider is having a central place to manage and configure your fields. And I'll give you that perspective. If you are managing the whole platform and you have so many modules and so many fields or labels, then it will be a problem for you to find on where to fix it. So always think about scalability and maintainability. ServiceNow is a canvas, and the design thinking and the best practices of implementation is fully recommended. And as you go mature in your knowledge as a technical person, learning about software architecture will provide paramount importance in implementing good design decisions. I have created a playlist that I have added at the end of the screen to further support your learning. Thank you for watching my channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and join as a member, and I'll see you in my next video.